Hello and good morning to you all. Welcome to another Sunday with Grace Kids. What with me taking last Sunday off and all, it feels like it's been quite a while since I was with you. Some of you even look like you've grown. My word. I, of course, stopped growing some years ago. Well, except for my moustache, of course. That needs keeping in trim pretty regularly, I can tell you. But anyway, you didn't come here to talk about moustaches. You've come to hear about Jesus, and rightly so, because there is nothing more exciting in all the world than the good news of what God has done in Jesus. Here on Grace Kids today, we have a feast. Oh yes, I mean a feast of good things for us to enjoy. We have songs, a story, a visit from Ben and Jose, and our weekly quiz. But first of all, well, it's time for this. That's right, jokes of the week. Ha ha! Preparing to laugh. This week, Isaac and Jude have come up trumps, sending in their jokes for us to enjoy. Isaac and Jude, I hope I tell your jokes as well as you would tell them. The first one is from Jude, and it's a knock-knock joke. So let me see if I can do this with two different voices. Knock-knock. Who's there? Knock-knock. Knock-knock who? Knock-knock, let us in. Can't you hear? I'm not sure that was two different voices, but anyway, you get the gist. Thank you for that one, Jude. These next two are from Isaac. What do you get if you sit under a cow? Do you know? What do you get if you sit under a cow? A pat on the head. Ha ha! Oh dear, that would be a bit messy, wouldn't it? And here's another one from Isaac. A pupil once asked their teacher, "Would you punish someone for something they didn't do?" "No," replied the teacher. "Of course I wouldn't punish someone for something they didn't do." "Good," said the pupil, "because I didn't do my homework." Ha ha ha! Very good. Thank you for that one, Isaac. And here are a couple of my own thrown in too. What did the fisherman say to the magician? "Pick a cod, any cod." You see? All right, what about this one? What does the ocean do when it sees its friends? It waves. It waves. No. Oh. Yes, okay, I agree that Isaac and Jude's jokes were better. Thank you both for sending them in. Please, everybody, do keep sending in your jokes for us to share in the coming weeks. Now, next up, we have our very first song of the morning. And this one is an old favourite of ours here at Grace Kids. It's the God of Wow! Oh, I just love everything about this song. The words, the pictures, the excitement of it all. But most of all, I love the way it reminds us just how unbelievably amazing God really is. Do sing along if you know it. And right after the song, Ben and Jose will join us to introduce today's story.
You have no birthday, you have always been. You alone have no beginning and no middle and no end. You're always with me, you are everywhere. In New Jersey or in Egypt, even outer space, you're there. Everything you are and do is unbelievable but true. You're the God of wow, amazing. How could this be? You're the God of whoa. You're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. You're never needy, how could you be? You made everything on earth and in the sky and in the sea. You're never lonely, the Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, yet you're reaching out to me, inviting me to come to you. Inconceivable but true. You're the God of wow, amazing. How could this be? You're the God of whoa. You're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. Can't find the words that could be big enough, loud enough. There could be no song that I could sing enough or shout enough when I want to praise your name, but don't know how. I just say, wow, amazing. How could this be? And I say, wow, you're more than I could ever dream. The God of wow, amazing. How could this be? You're the God of wow. You're more than I could ever dream. The more I learn about you, exclamation points abound to the God of wow. Designer of the dinosaurs, mapper of the ocean floor, of all the wilds below above. The best of all is your great love. You're the God of wow.
Hey kids, today I have some very exciting and yet sad news. The exciting news is that we are about to finish our story, and after this we will carry on to some new videos and new stories for you to watch and enjoy.
And the sad news?
This will be the last time that you see us on screen. Well, at least for now. We have come to an end of our contract and we will be replaced by other videos.
Whoa, that is a bit sad. Endings usually are quite sad.
Well, actually, Jose, the final story today is about the end, like the end ends, the day when Jesus returns. And that isn't sad. In fact, that will be the most exciting day ever. Have a look at this.
The Jesus Storybook Bible, written by Sally Lloyd-Jones and illustrated by Jago. A Dream of Heaven. John was one of Jesus' helpers. He was old now and living on an island, which might sound nice, except it was a prison. The leaders put him there to stop him from talking about Jesus, but I'm sure you don't think a little thing like being in a cell, in a prison, on an island in the middle of an ocean could stop God's plan, do you? One morning, Jesus appeared, right there in John's cell. Jesus' eyes were bright, shining like the sun. I am going to show you a secret, John, Jesus said, about when I come back. His voice was like the sound of rushing waters. Write down what you see so God's children can read it and wait with happy excitement. Then Jesus gave John a beautiful dream. Except John was wide awake, and what he saw was real, and one day it would all come true. I see a throne, and on the throne is a king, and the king is Jesus. All around the throne people are bowing down. They are giving him their treasures. There are loud cheers and clapping and bright laughter like 1,000 waterfalls. And everyone bursts out singing a new song. This is our King, the Lamb who died so we don't have to, our rescuer. All honour and glory forever and ever. And every creature everywhere in heaven and on earth, and under the earth and in the sea joins in. And then, from all around, a wide, immense, beautiful silence. And I see Satan, God's horrible enemy, thrown down, defeated. I see a sparkling city shimmering in the sky, glittering, glowing, coming down from heaven and from the sky. Heaven is coming down to earth. God's city is beautiful. Walls of topaz, jasper, sapphire, wide streets paved with gold, gleaming pearl gates that are never locked shut. Where is the sun? Where is the moon? They aren't needed anymore. God is all the light people need. No more darkness, no more night. And the King says, look, God and his children are together again. No more running away or hiding. No more crying or being lonely or afraid. No more being sick or dying. Because all those things are gone. Yes, they're gone forever. Everything sad has come untrue. And see, I have wiped away every tear from every eye. And then a deep, beautiful voice that sounded like thunder in the sky says, look, I am making everything new. It was hard to squeeze all John saw into words and fit it onto a page and cram it into a book. All the words on all the pages of all the books in all the world would never be enough. I am the beginning, Jesus said, and the ending. One day, John knew heaven would come down and mend God's broken world and make it our true, perfect home once again. And he knew, in some mysterious way that would be hard to explain, that everything was going to be more wonderful for once having been so sad. And he knew then that the ending of the story was going to be so great it would make all the sadness and tears and everything seem like just a shadow that is chased away by the morning sun. I'm on my way, Jesus said. I'll be there soon. John came to the end of his book, but he didn't write the end because, of course, that's how stories finish. And this one's not over yet. So instead he wrote, "Come quickly, Jesus," which perhaps is really just another way of saying, to be continued. For anyone who says yes to Jesus, for anyone who believes what Jesus said, for anyone who will just reach out to take it, then God will give them this wonderful gift, to be born into a whole new life, to be who they really are, who God always made them to be, their own true selves, God's dear child. Because you see, the most wonderful thing about this story is, it's your story too.
Wow, isn't that cool? One day Jesus will return. He will come back and take us home forever, and we will always be with him and live with him.
Yes, it is very exciting and a very, 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 very happy ending. And the best part is, this is real. It will happen.
I can't wait for that day. It'll be so amazing. For all of us who put our trust and hope in him, it'll be the best day ever.
Man, I'm more excited about this day than my birthday. It's going to be so, so good.
Anyway, goodbye kids. We need to go now.
Goodbye.
Well, 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 can you believe that we've read the whole of the Jesus Storybook Bible together in Grace Kids this past year? Along with a whole lot of other stories too. That was the very last story in the book, but just as we heard, it isn't the end of God's plans for his people, for you and for me. When Jesus returns to make all things new, it really will be just the beginning and the start of so many new adventures to come. One of the reasons Jesus was so keen that we should know about things like heaven and the new creation was so that we could feel at peace right now and not be afraid of anything. And that's what our second song this morning is all about. See if you can memorize some of the words while you listen.
1633. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. In this world you will have trouble. Yeah, yeah. But take heart, I have overcome the world. Take heart, I have overcome the world. Yeah, overcome the world. Yeah, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. Yeah, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. In this world you will have trouble. Yeah, yeah. But take heart, I have overcome the world. 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 I have overcome. I have overcome the world. Take heart, 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 I have overcome the
Well now, I'm nearly at the end of my time with you this morning, but I don't want to go without giving you the opportunity to take part in our weekly quiz and to see how much you can remember from our time together today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions today for us to answer. Do shout out the answers if you know them. Here we go. Question 1. Our first song today mentioned God's birthday. But when is God's birthday? Do you know? When is God's birthday? What's that? Someone say the 3rd of April? No. Someone say the 29th of June? No. That's because he has no birthday. That's right, God has always been. He has no birthday. Okay, question 2. That song at the beginning also told us that God was the maker of all things. But can you name one amazing thing that God has made? Can you name one thing? Shout it out. Well, the song called him the designer of the dinosaurs and the mapper of the ocean floors, but really there are so many amazing things that God has made that I'm sure all of your answers were correct. Now, the next few questions are about today's story. Question 3. Which of Jesus' friends was living on an island when God showed him an amazing vision of heaven? Which of his friends? Which of his friends was it? It was John. Question 4. Who was the king that John saw sitting on the throne in heaven? Who was the king? Do you know? That's right, it was Jesus. Question 5. What did John see coming down from heaven through the clouds to earth? Do you know what it was? It was a sparkling city for God's people to live in. That sounds just magnificent, doesn't it? Question 6. What has God promised to wipe away from every eye one day? What has God promised to one day wipe away from our eyes? Every one of our tears, yes, because there'll be no more sickness or death or loneliness or anything to be afraid of. That will just be amazing, won't it? Oh, I can't wait for that day. Question 7, the final question today. This incredible true story is all about Jesus. But who else is this story all about? Who else is this story all about? That's right, you and me, and every single person who ever puts their trust in Jesus. Well done, everybody. Once again, your powers of memorizing really do amaze me. And there's just one more thing for you to remember this morning. Remember to enjoy the rest of your time in Grace Kids today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.